Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. And once again, we're very honored, privileged to have with us a man of men, somebody that talks about a thing called the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, which I call, of course, the Bill of No Rights anymore. Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, thanks for being here today.
It's a pleasure, Gerald. It really has become a bill of temporary privileges. The government treats the rights articulated in the Bill of Rights like water in a spigot that it can turn on and turn off at its own convenience. The Bill of Rights doesn't create rights. It restrains the government from interfering with pre-existing rights that come from our humanity. Now, what I've just said is the theory and value underlying the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights. But no government today honors it.
No.
None.
No. And it's been going on. I mean, it's been going on for a long time. I mean, they just keep robbing us of our rights and keep telling us what to do. Hey, I'm the president. I'll tell you what to do. You listen to me. And again, hey, remember the COVID war? Remember when all these politicians locked down everything and destroyed the lives and livelihoods of millions and millions of people? Hey, I'll tell you what to do. You listen to me. You got an article.
Pity the poor people in New York City. Their choice is between the prince of the lockdowners, Andrew Cuomo, and a fanatical left-wing socialist. That's their choice for governors or for mayor of New York City. So pick your poison.
Yes.
Somebody who made his fame in locking us down, and somebody else who says things like defund the police and lower rents and make buses and everything for free, have the government-owned supermarkets. Can you imagine what a government-owned supermarket would look like? Anyway, I didn't mean to take you off topic.
No.
Your imitation of the thuggery of politicians reminded me of Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah. Again, nothing more than a little arrogant daddy's boy. A little boy of nothing. Hey, don't you know who my daddy is? Oh, how about that other guy with a pair of cojones smaller than a mothball? Little Georgie Bush. Don't you know who my daddy is? How can people be so stupid to swallow the crap spewing out of the mouths of these morons? We're going to get that guy Osama bin Laden dead or alive. 90% of Americans swallow the shit coming out of his mouth.
Yes.
The Afghan War, the longest war in American history.
Yes.
But Judge, you got an article coming out. And again, everybody go to Judging Freedom. The people that the judge has on, these are real men and women that don't take crap from anybody and put out the truth, the facts. But again, in the mainstream media, it's fact you. We don't put out the facts. We're prostitutes. We're media whores that get paid to put out by our corporate pimps and government whoremasters. That's what you call mainstream media. So what the judge has on, he has people there that really know the facts and telling us what in the world is going on. And again, as I said in the beginning, what Bill of Rights, Bill of No Rights. You have an article coming out tomorrow, and it's headlined, Jailed in America for Free Speech. In the aftermath of the murder of Charlie Kirk, many folks who dared to express views of him and his work outside the mainstream lost their jobs, professional standing, and State Department's visas as they were fired or otherwise disciplined by employers or bureaucrats who concluded that anti-Kirk views could harm the employer's business or were inconsistent with institutional values. And by the way, you said bureaucrats, you misspelt it. It's bureaucrats. Bureaucrats. These are little scumbags that can't get a job in the real world, that suck into the political system and become the most arrogant. That's who the bureaucrats are.
That's unfortunately what runs the government today. So very small people in the State Department decided to strip the student visas and other visas of people who are critical of Charlie Kirk and of his movement, even though you're permitted under the First Amendment to say whatever the hell you want about Kirk, about his movement, about anything you want under the sun. The beginning of the article, however, does articulate that the First Amendment only restrains the government. So if an employee of Trends Journal was saying things in a public square inconsistent with the message of Trends Journal, you could discipline that person. Just like Newsmax could take me off air if I said things inconsistent with Newsmax's message, because Trends Journal is a private entity owned by you. Newsmax is a private entity owned by its shareholders. It's not the government. The problem comes in when the government punishes people for speech. Arguably, that's a very serious issue in the denial of visas. We're stripping a student of his visa to study at Columbia University because the student was critical of Charlie Kirk or Benjamin Netanyahu is an outrageous and profound violation of the First Amendment, but the courts let them get away with it because the law that grants the visas says the visa can be withheld if a person's behavior or speech is detrimental to American national security. How can a student standing in the middle of the Columbia University campus, no matter what they say, be detrimental to the national security of the United States? The courts look the other way and they let Rubio do whatever the hell he wants.
You go on with your article here, Rubio. A little clown boy, a little piece of scum. One after another. I forgot the guy before him, the other Secretary of State. Remember Anthony Blinken?
Right.
My daddy was ambassador to Hungary. My uncle was ambassador to Belgium. I went to Dalton. I went to Harvard. I come to Israel not only as the Secretary of State, I come here as a Jew. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
one piece of scum after another. You go on here, you write, now in jail in Perry County, Tennessee, sits a retired 24-year veteran police and correction officer whose sole offensive behavior was to quote President Donald Trump and have the quote appear to reflect Trump's sentiment about the public aftermath of Kirk's murder.
So, background here. In January of 2024, there have been so many of these, Gerald, it's hard to keep track. Some crazy person shot up a school and he killed a student and he killed the teacher and he injured a bunch of other students and teachers in a place called Perry County, Iowa. After the outrage had subsided, there were calls to crack down on Second Amendment rights. Candidate Donald Trump said, "It's time to get over this." Simple declarative statement with which I agreed at the time and with which I agree now. These things are horrible, but they shouldn't affect the right to keep and bear arms. Okay, time to get over it. Fast forward 18 months, Kirk is murdered. This retired police officer, Larry Bushart, I never heard of him, know nothing about him, except he has no record of violence, is very antagonistic towards Kirk and very antagonistic towards what he believes was Kirk's political values. And he posts many, many into the hundreds Facebook comments critical of Kirk. And the comments, of course, drew responses, and he responded. And in one of his responses, he said, he quoted Trump from 18 months earlier. "It's time to get over it," meaning Kirk is dead. It's time to get over it. He said this in Perry County, Tennessee. The quote was in reference to an assault on a school 18 months ago in Perry County, Iowa. The sheriff of Perry County, Tennessee said, "Oh my God, he's talking about a school shooting. He must be planning to shoot up a school in Perry County, Tennessee. I better arrest him before he kills anybody." So on the basis of quoting Trump from 18 months earlier, this guy is sitting in jail. He's a pensioner. He lives on his pension and Social Security. His bail is $2 million.
Holy shit.
The judge refuses to hold a bail hearing until December. This is a profound outrage. The Eighth Amendment prohibits excessive bail, and the First Amendment protects his right to free speech. I don't know how this is going to end up. He's still in jail as we're speaking now. Why do I write this? Because a lot of your friends and mine, states' rights, states' rights, states' rights. The states can be as tyrannical as the federal government. All government is tyrannical, even small town America. Example, what happened to this retired police officer. There was no investigation of whether he had the ability to do it. There was no warning to the school. There was no interrogation of him. What did you mean by this? There was nothing, just an arrest warrant and a bail so high that only a millionaire could make it.
You know, the bullshit of America, we attack countries all over the world under the crap that we want to restore democracy to them, as we're losing it in our country. You write week after week, month after month, year after year about how we keep losing our rights. And they keep selling the shit that we're attacking this country, that country, this country, that country, because we want to restore democracy there, as they're robbing it from us in front of everybody's eyes.
So the president kills whoever he wants in the Caribbean and now in the Pacific, off the coast of Venezuela and now off the coast of Mexico, a very friendly country with the United States. This is moral relativism at its worst. I'm waiting to hear some defendants say in a courtroom, well, the president can kill whoever he wants. Why can't I? An absurd statement. But that's the message that is sent to very weak and dangerous people. What morals are there? What standards are there when the president of the United States says, I can kill somebody because I think they're going to commit a crime? Or you're doing it in the Caribbean and the Pacific. Can you do it in Chicago? That's how dangerous things are here. But your point is well taken. We want to spread democracy. We don't spread democracy. We spread violence and death. We don't even have democracy here anymore if the police can do to this, one of their own, this retired police officer, what the sheriff of Perry County, Tennessee did to Larry Bushhart.
Yeah, we spread violence and death, not democracy.
Right.
Again, you were talking about Venezuela, where they just killed another dozen people a couple of days ago.
Yes, Hegseth announced yesterday afternoon on social media that 4 more boats were destroyed with another survivor. Now, you and I talked about this last week. This is a very, very serious issue for the administration, the survivors, because the survivors under federal civil rights laws have a cause of action against the federal government for attempted murder and kidnapping. And I hope that some legal team in the U.S. visits them in their countries and signs them up to bring these cases, and we can get in front of a federal judge with the courage to enjoin the president this issue of that he can kill whoever he wants. Oh, and tariffs? I don't like the ad you ran during the Super Bowl quoting one of my predecessors, the last free market president we had, Ronald Reagan, about the danger of tariffs. Therefore, I'm going to increase the tariffs on your country.
Yeah.
In a fit of pique and anger. What does this have to do with the powers that the Congress gave him? This is going to undermine his case before the Supreme Court. I'm sure his lawyers are trying to restrain him, but it's too little and too late. This is a president doing whatever the hell he wants without any standards, without any compliance with international law, the Constitution, or federal law whatsoever.
You know, you're talking about Venezuela and the horror going on. Last week, we played a clip when Trump was trying to overthrow the government back in 2019 and 2020 with that little boy, Juan Guaido. And people have no idea about that. It had nothing to do with the bullshit now that they're saying they're doing it because of drug trafficking. He called Maduro, the president of Venezuela, a socialist dictator back in 2019. And everybody in Congress, when they had Guaido there, stood up and gave him an applause. A little boy of nothing. You mentioned, what is he, a CIA guy or?
Well, he's a CIA asset who's now a grad student in Miami, which means the CIA is paying his tuition.
So people have no idea about that. It had nothing to do with drugs. Judge, this is a clip of Trump when he was running for president. Before we show you this is the cover of this week's Trends Journal. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right. Trump, about Rubio, and I guess that's Hegseth on the bottom with the red bandana.
You got it. It's not about drug trafficking. We'll steal Venezuela's oil.
Correct.
This is a clip from Trump when he was running for president in 2024.
How about we're buying oil from Venezuela? When I left, Venezuela was ready to collapse. We would have taken it over. We would have gotten all that oil. It would have been right next door.
Well, there you have it. In an unguarded moment, although in front of a camera and a microphone, he revealed his true motivation. You know, Colonel McGregor told me yesterday on Judging Freedom that the Venezuelan oil requires 3 levels of refinement, meaning it is far cheaper to refine oil from West Texas than it is to steal and refine oil from Venezuela. He doesn't think the Trump's people know that. But I shouldn't laugh because people will die. And what will American mothers do when some of their boys come? There's 10,000 Marines on an aircraft carrier off the coast of Caracas as we speak. That's an expensive proposition. What will American mothers do when some of those boys come home in body bags? Oh, I'm going to write to my congressman. Why did you declare war? What declaration of war? Congress is supine. Congress isn't even in session.
Again, when you listen to that clip, play that one more time, Jane. Now, I want to be.
How about we're buying oil from Venezuela? When I left, Venezuela was ready to collapse. We would have taken it over. We would have gotten all that oil. It would have been right next door.
When I left office, Venezuela was ready to collapse, and we would have got that oil. When I left, he's full of shit. Venezuela was not ready to collapse. When he attempted to overthrow the government and put that little boy Guaido in there, it didn't work.
Right.
It didn't work. They tried to invade from Colombia going into Venezuela, and they wiped them out. So it wasn't ready to collapse. Oh, we would have got their oil. This is how could people swallow this crap? What right do we have to do that?
Well, now they're going to try and replace Maduro with this woman that won the Nobel, as you call it, piece of crap prize. She is an asset not only of the CIA, but are you ready for this? Of Mossad. I mean, this can't get much worse, can it? That the Israelis would be controlling the presidency of Venezuela.
How about Argentina? Look at that guy, that little clown boy.
He is a serious libertarian on economics, but absolutely totally in bed with Netanyahu. In bed with him.
Yep. And again,
you know, as I said to you before the camera came on, I love my time with you, as you know, but every week the world is worse.
Yep.
Every week things are worse. How long have we been doing these Happy Wednesday get-togethers like this? 3 or 4 years. Every week it's worse.
Every week. And again, what makes me so sad is that the billionaires do nothing for peace.
Right. Right.
They could change the game like that.
Yes, they could. No matter where they are on the political spectrum, they could change the game like that.
Yep.
Maybe one of them will.
It's so sad. And it breaks my heart to see what's going on. Again, the slaughter of the Palestinians, that whole peace deal, as we said, was a bunch of shit to begin with. According to the latest data that I just read, over 100 Palestinians were killed yesterday. By
Wow.
Israel.
And I'm
Bombing
sure-
the hell out of the place to ruins.
Right.
Hospitals,
Well, they have to bomb the hell out of it so that Jared Kushner's bulldozers can clear the rubble away and build Trump Gaza.
Yep.
I
Again,
say that a little bit tongue in cheek, but it's not exactly tongue in cheek. The Gaza peace deal, which Ritter and McGregor and Giraldi say was a sham and a scam, was negotiated by two people that don't even work for the federal government, and they're both Zionists, Steve
Yep.
Witkoff and the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. What do they do for a living? They develop real estate. Gee, I wonder how much of the destroyed Gaza the Witkoff companies and the Kushner companies will soon be developing. Can't
again,
make this up, Gerald.
we quoted Jared Kushner in the Trends Journal back in March of 2024. He said this is, quote, very valuable waterfront property.
Right.
And he said that the Palestinians should be moved out into the Negev desert.
Right.
Judge, it's so sad what's going on. If we don't have a change of government and bring it back to we the people, it's finished. And it's the decline of America. And again, what people don't have any idea about are the BRICS, and about, the BRICS now control over 40% of the world's gross domestic product. And they've had enough of America's geopolitical and socioeconomic hegemony.
And you're right. And Putin, Xi, Modi, and Lula, Russia, China, India, Brazil, all know that, all understand that. And Donald Trump, because he doesn't understand economics 101, has made it easier for them to join together.
Yep. And so this is going to be the death of the dollar and the death of America, in the sense that we're going the way of the country our founding fathers fought against, Great Britain. The sun never sets on the British Empire. We kill people all over the world. And they kill themselves. They destroy their economy, particularly after World War I. And that's when the pound died and the dollar began. And now we've gone the same way. Judge, thank you for being here. Thank you for all you do. And everybody, if you want to know really what's going on that you're not going to hear anywhere else, and the people that the judge has on, go to Judging Freedom. Judge, who you have coming on next?
Two of your dearest friends and biggest admirers and colleagues of both of ours, Phil Giraldi and Scott Ritter.
Two real men.
Yes.
Two real men. What Scott Ritter's gone through, and he